Okay, so picture this. A war is declared, but you can't actually see the soldiers. The borders? Totally meaningless. And the weapon that starts the whole thing? It's not a missile. It's just a single line of code. And look, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is the new reality of global security. So today we're going to break down exactly what that means. Because here's the thing. The simple, undeniable truth today is that cyber attacks, they've become a whole new battlefield. Yeah, it is now a domain of conflict that's just as real and just as critical as the ones we're used to. Land, sea, and air. All right, so to really get our heads around this massive shift, we've got to first understand what this new battlefield actually, well, what it looks like, what it feels like. And trust me, it's unlike anything we've ever seen before. And this comparison really just lays it all out. I mean, we're used to thinking about war in terms of physical places, right? Geographic territory, armies you can see. And weapons are, well, they're what military folks call kinetic. Bombs, missiles, stuff that goes boom. But in the cyber world, whoa, it's all virtual. It's borderless. The attackers can be totally anonymous, sitting thousands of miles away. And the weapons? They're not bombs. They're just lines of malicious code, but they're designed to do just as much damage, crippling infrastructure from the inside out. So you have this new, kind of invisible threat, and it absolutely demanded a response. And that brings us to this really pivotal moment. A moment when the world's most powerful military alliance decided it was time to draw a line in the digital sand. So the big question became, right? How does an alliance that was literally built to fight traditional wars, how do they even begin to respond to a threat that has no borders, no uniforms? I mean, what could they possibly do? Well, their answer, it wasn't some complicated new treaty. It wasn't a huge military buildup. No, it was something much simpler. A short but incredibly powerful statement. Cyber defense is part of collective defense. That's it, just 7 words. But with that one sentence, NATO completely rewrote the rules of 21st century warfare. They connected the digital world to the physical one in a way that had never, ever been done before. Okay, now, to really feel the full weight of that declaration, we have to talk about what it's built on. We need to understand this incredibly powerful principle it invokes, collective defense. And honestly, this is the very foundation of the entire NATO alliance. So what is it exactly? Well, put simply, collective defense is this idea, this principle, that an attack on any single NATO member is considered an attack on all of them. It's basically a promise of mutual protection. And look, this isn't just some vague idea, right? It is the absolute cornerstone of NATO. For more than 70 years, this one promise, an attack on one is an attack on all, has been one of the most powerful deterrents in modern history. It is the ultimate I've got your back treaty between nations. Okay, so now let's connect those two big ideas we've been talking about. You've got the new cyber battlefield on one hand, and this long-standing principle of collective defense on the other. This is where it all comes together. And this is the real kicker. This gets right to the core of it. By saying cyber defense is part of collective defense, NATO officially created a direct link, a bridge, between a cyber attack and a potential, real-world, physical military response. And not just from one country, but from all 32 member nations. So let's just walk through what this new chain of events could look like. First, a really severe cyber attack hits a NATO member. Let's say it shuts down a power grid or maybe a whole financial system. Okay, step 2. NATO can now decide to officially recognize that digital attack as being the same as a traditional armed attack. Now, if that happens, we're at step 3. The principle of collective defense is triggered. And finally, step 4. All the members can respond together. And yeah, that could mean with conventional military force. Now, this policy, it's designed to be a deterrent, right? To stop attacks before they happen. But it unleashes this whole cascade of incredibly complex new questions and scenarios. It's like a digital domino effect, and the consequences could be huge. And that's really the crucial point here. This new reality forces us to ask some seriously difficult questions, like what exactly makes a cyber attack severe enough to trigger a military response? How do you prove, really prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, who launched an attack when they can hide behind layers of anonymous servers all over the world? And maybe the toughest question of all, what in the world is a proportional military response to a destructive line of code? And let's be clear, these aren't just thought experiments. These are the immediate challenges that world leaders are grappling with right now. And all of that, it leaves us right here with one final, unavoidable question. A question that's really going to define the future of conflict. What does a war started by a single line of code actually look like? The answer? Well, that's something we are all, right now, going to have to figure out together.